about to start my final year at the University of Georgia. Expecting to graduate in May 2017, and I'm studying civil engineering. So I've had previous construction experience working with my dad. After my freshman year in college, he asked me if I want to work with him in the summer out in the field. So I got some experience out in the field and some during winter break as well. So it was nice to get that aspect, and now coming here, I've gotten a different perspective. So here, just to summarize what I've learned here, I think I've gotten a good foundation for, understanding what pre-construction is. Just from the basics, learning how to read and understand plans. Before coming here, it's not something I knew how to do. They don't really teach that, in classes or anything. So, that was good. And then within reading plans, learning to quantify different scopes of work, knowing how much square footage of concrete you need, or linear feet of silt fence you need for a project, because those quantities is what you use to build your estimates, or at least the backbone of it, and just essentially just building relationships, not only with your fellow coworkers, but especially with your clients and your subcontractors. So kind of project highlights. So just working pre-construction, and at least from the heavy civil side, we typically will price 3 to 5 projects a week. So it's kind of difficult to talk about, every single project. So I've kind of highlighted 3 projects that were milestones for me, in my learning this summer. So first project, Joseph E. Boone Boulevard. This project is a City of Atlanta job. It was a design build, so it's kind of difficult to, get pricing back for that one. But essentially it's a 1.3 mile stretch of road, and we had to design, we had to price rehabilitation of the road and some green infrastructure such as pervious concrete and some storm planters. And this is the first project that I was more involved in. Before this, I was doing takeoffs, projects that Brad had already started, so, just he would kind of oversee me. But this project, he kind of, had me start from the very beginning, read through all the plans, told me to highlight all the notes, get really intimate with it. And that's kind of the project that kind of helped me start, learning how to read plans and, calling subcontractors. And so, yeah, this project was a good start for me. Then Atlanta Dairies, this is another City of Atlanta project. It's just a standard project. It's just demo some existing pavement, installing utility and storm lines. And like I said before, yeah, it was just a standard project, did takeoffs, called subs. But what was important for me about this project was this is kind of how I first learned about building estimates using Omen. I was introduced to that. Just kind of learned about unit prices and how different scopes affect the overall cost of the estimate. So yeah, and then Breckenridge Oaks. This project is probably my favorite of the ones that I've worked on. It's in Duluth, and essentially it was a proposed senior living facility that involved clearing and grubbing, asphalt paving, concrete work, installation of storm utility lines, basically priced everything on this project. But what was important to me was this project that first utilized everything that I had learned thus far. Doing takeoffs, kind of built the estimates, actually learned how to use ag tech on this project with the earthwork, because Zach had a quick second to teach me how to use that. But what was most memorable about this project was, after doing all this, I guess Brad and Zach have been busy doing a bunch of other projects, so Brad kind of let me take the wheel on this one and review it. Some with William actually in the bid room. So I guess at that point, as I was reviewing it, I felt like I knew what was going on. I felt like I knew what I was talking about. And I think that was I guess it might sound a little cheesy, but I kind of felt more than just an intern at that point. So it kind of served as a good motivation for me for the rest of the summer, and just keep working hard. So lessons learned. Obviously learned a lot of different lessons, but I think the most important one is organization. you know, on different levels. I mean, like, for example, communication. I mean, everyone has to communicate. Everyone needs to be on the same page, you know, at all times. You know, always know your project deadlines. Because, I mean, as I said before, probably so many jobs, kind of need to be on top of that. And, you know, divide and conquer. I mean, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, so, you know, it's important to kind of, you know, play off of everyone's strengths. You know, and even from a personal level, just, you know, organizing, you know, creating bid books. You know, as soon as the project comes out, I know Brad was always like, hey, you want to make this book? So, you know, from the very beginning, you know, making books and just being specific too when you're doing takeoffs and your estimates, you know, that way it's easier for the product managers, you know, after, you know, get awarded the job, they can kind of go in and, you know, see what we price exactly, just make it easier on them. And review my internship, overall I had a very good experience working here. You know, everyone was we were friendly and welcoming. And, you know, everyone was willing to teach, had a great atmosphere, and I've learned a lot, you know, in these, I guess, past 3 or 4 months. You know, I didn't know what to expect coming here. This is my first internship. So, you know, I remember talking to some friends, and they'd be like, you know, I'd ask them how their internship went in the summer, and they would just be like, yeah, you know, they didn't really have anything for me to do. So I kind of just got paid to just sit there and, you know, study for my summer class. And at the time I was like, you know, that sounds pretty cool, you know, getting paid to do nothing. But yeah, after coming here, I mean, obviously it's not the case here. I mean, everyone does a lot of work. So yeah, I think it was a very good experience overall. It's given me a different perspective of the construction industry, because like I said, you know, I worked in the field a little bit. So it's kind of opened my eyes, you know, to what's here in the office. So it's definitely a career path I definitely plan on, you know, hopefully pursuing later on. So yeah, it was really great, and I just want to